and like here I'm just like, well, here's my whole story.
Well, that's a lovely story.
My name is Nadia Gilbert. I am a Palestinian-American visual artist, chef, and YouTuber. I run the cooking show Sahtein. Sahtein is all about celebrating and really bringing into the future and into the forefront the beauty of Palestinian cuisine. Growing up in the States, very far away from my Palestinian family with an American dad and a Palestinian mom, we always had to create a sense of home and belonging where we were at. I learned from a very young age that food was the way that we stay connected to our roots and connected to who we are. I have always been an absolute za'atar fiend. Ever since I was a baby, I have loved za'atar uzayt. We have always gone to Amman every summer, ever since I can remember as a kid. During this time, the food was absolutely always a highlight. I just remember, still today, the most beautiful family gatherings with just abundance of dishes, and the way that people were able to come together through that, and the precision and the skill that I saw from especially the women in my family who were just incredible chefs. When I'm cooking, the default is very often putting on some Kulthum or some Fairuz and feeling like I am a teta in my beautiful fortress kitchen. I began cooking as a form of coping and of healing. I always know that when I make a Palestinian dish, my body's going to feel really good afterwards. Our bodies send us messages every single day that we can choose to listen to. Without intending to, I sort of took on this role of holding wisdom around food and sharing it with my group of friends and acquaintances. I think people really craved what Palestinian food has to offer, which is hundreds and hundreds of years of wisdom and tradition that is so healing for the body. And so what began as a passion and something that just brought me joy and made me feel like I belonged in a time where I didn't feel like I belonged in a lot of places, turned into a way to create a space for belonging for others. It was in 2016, about 4 years ago, that I first shot a Sahtein video just for fun with my friend Sarah in my little Park Slope apartment where I lived with 4 of my friends. The response we got on that video was really incredible, and it showed me just how much people wanted to learn about this food. I think that especially today, with many people being on such a on-the-go lifestyle, food is set as this thing that they have to do rather than a meditation, rather than a moment of being in their body. It becomes something where it's just another way that we're getting out of our body. Everything I do comes from a perspective of being a Palestinian in diaspora. And so I think that's a very specific and unique perspective. And it's also important to understand the perspective of Palestinians living in Palestine, because it's very, very different. I know it's in my future to go to Palestine and to spend time there. And it's going to be a very necessary part of my growth and understanding of myself. I think after all the displacement of being a Palestinian, to have a place and to really connect with the land on such an intimate level as to grow food from it and eat food from it, it feeds your heart. My family started a garden just a few years ago that we have cultivated and has really flourished over the last 6 or so years. We are growing tomatoes, we are growing zucchini and squash, we have eggplants, we have some beautiful Swiss chard. In a world where most of us get our produce from the supermarket or the store, I think gardening is revolutionary. I think gardening is is a sort of active resistance in that way. And you make a space and allow people to take that and cultivate land with it and grow their own food. My gosh, it is so magical. It is so healing. And I just imagine, what if every rooftop people were able to grow their own food? What kind of a world would that look like? When we look at our food as a potential key to the future, I've realized just how powerful that is and how that relationship is paramount, is everything.